Before I fly directly home for his birthday, I'm meeting up with my brother and his family. We're going to go to Mexico and enjoy their March break together, and then I will fly home after that. So it'll be kind of a nice trip. You know, the jokes write themselves and go, oh, Ian's going back to Mexico again. Well, yes, but just for a week this time. The other big decision I've made is that I am not going any further south than Panama City. My original plan when I first started this trip almost 2.5 years ago now, was that I was going to complete the Americas as a circuit. And I think what I've come to realize is that I need to change it up. And I want to try something fresh, something different. Go to a new place, a new part, a new country, a new region of the world. And that is no knock whatsoever on Central America, Latin America, heading to South America, any of that. I've been itching to get back to Peru for 25 plus years now, and I will, but it's just going to have to wait a little bit. Where I'm going next, I haven't decided. I have a couple of ideas in mind. I have a couple of places in mind, and I have one particular adventure in mind that I really got excited about when I thought about it and started looking into it a little bit. I'm not going to reveal that at the moment because I'm not even sure if I'm going to do it or not, but it would be a project rather than just a trip, let's say. It would involve months of training and preparation. It would involve gear. It would involve logistics, all that sort of stuff. And it's not something that everybody does, but it's something that I've kind of always wanted to do and sort of see now as an opportunity to, if I'm not going to do it now, I'm never going to get to. So it would be, I'm not going to spoil it here, but let's just say that if I was to do this project and accomplish it, it would make climbing Santa Ana volcano look like a walk through a park. But that's all I'm going to say for now because I don't really have any set plans on what to do with that next. So after I finish Panama City and head home, I do have a ton of videos that I'm going to be working on. As you've seen from some of the posts that I've made on YouTube and some of the other things that I've talked about, 2026 YouTube is very different for me than 2024 and 2025 was. At this moment, my channel is arguably bigger than it's been at any point, but the way that the algorithm is treating videos and content is very different now. And so I have to take a different approach in some ways, try some different things, because I really enjoy running this channel. I really enjoy producing videos and, responding to people and doing all of the comments and reading all the comments and all of that stuff. I love it all. And so I'm going to continue. Some of it will be looking back at some of the things that I've completed. Some of it will be looking forward, and some of it will be sort of, more talking about life in general on the road over 2+ years. What that means, what that looks like, logistics. Can you do it yourself if you wanted to? And if you do, how do you go about that? All those sorts of things. And I'm really excited to do some of that. I'm looking forward to just kind of being in the same place for a little while. I've traveled 7, 8, 9, 10 countries now over the last couple of years. I've spent 90% of the last 2 years living out of a backpack on buses every few days. And it's been a wonderful experience. As I've always talked about, everyone's path is different. Everyone's path is unique to them, and it's important to, pivot if you want to try something different, or if something isn't working for you, or if you just want to, go a different way. That is all okay, and that is one of the things that I've talked about a lot, and that's one of the things that I'm doing in this case. So I'm looking forward to it. I've got, like I said, I've got some really good ideas for some plans, and it's going to be a nice recharge in the meantime. I'll probably be home for, a month or so, I would guess. That will lead almost right into my birthday. And so there's certainly an appeal to being home for my birthday with my family and friends as well. I guess this got a little long-winded. I mean, I just was kind of sitting here on this in the shade here a little bit and kind of had that stream of thought. But you know, it's important sometimes to do that also. And I tend to fumble over my words a lot when I'm making videos, and I have to go through and edit out the parts that are me saying the same thing 5 times in a row. But in this case, I just wanted to make sure that I got it all out and talk about it. So that's where we're at. That's where I'm headed. I'm very excited to get to Panama tomorrow to visit my new country and to continue to share those adventures with you. And onward we will go. So on that note, let's head back to where I'm staying. Rockin Jay's Hostel is about 1 kilometer from here up the road, which is a little farther away than some places, but it's a pretty cool vibe with the place. And I'm really excited to show it to you because it's a very popular place here. And I see all kinds of different reviews, positives and negatives, everything in between. And I want to talk about my experience with it so far. And yeah, why it's I would probably recommend it if you were coming here to Puerto Viejo. So this is Rockin Jay's, and it is quite the spot. Let's go inside and have a look. So when you come in here, there are tons of different options. There are private rooms, there are shared rooms, there are tents, there are hammocks, there are everything available to rent here. Everything's covered in this beautiful mosaic tile also, which is really cool. Let's go down and have a look at the room that I'm staying in. Shared bathrooms and showers are here. The sink. There's this whole section over here with tents that you can rent very cheaply. There's a shared kitchen space there. The second level up there has more tents on it. And where I'm staying at is at sort of this back building here. So I'm staying here in dorm room number 2, which is a 4-bed shared dorm space. And most importantly has air conditioning up on the wall because it is hot. So there's shared lockers here behind me that each person gets to use in the room. There's that great air conditioner up on the wall, which is nice because it's very hot here. As you can see, I'm just back from my walk through town and I'm pretty sweaty. It's also got this really cool mosaic tile pattern to it. And, you know, obviously you use the shared bathrooms and shared showers and stuff that were just up past the tent area. There's a big kitchen space there. Not a lot of kitchen stuff, especially for the volume of people that are here. You know, I'm here sort of at a time when I think it's a little bit quieter than normal. But even now, like that kitchen gets very busy. And so you're kind of jostling for, you know, finding cooking utensils and those types of things. But that is part of having a space where, you know, you could have upwards of a couple hundred people here staying here at any one time. So far, knock on wood, I've been very fortunate. I have had this room entirely to myself. I've been sleeping down here on bed letter A, and there's been nobody else here yet the first 2 nights. I'm here tonight, it's my last night, and I fully expect, I keep waiting for somebody to show up, but that's fine. I mean, it is a shared room. I'm paying for a shared room, and you know, it's just a bonus. Kind of like up in Puerto Viejo, I guess, where the first 2 nights I stayed there, I had the room to myself also. But overall, a great spot, very popular, very busy spot. I think it's sort of known a bit of as a party hostel, to be honest. There are some people here who are definitely long-term stays, and you know, there's lots of people like me who are just passing through for a few days. So it's a pretty eclectic mix of people here, but really interesting and really fun and something a little bit different for me. Usually I've always tried to stay in private rooms, and you know, the price in Costa Rica just doesn't allow that for the budget that I was trying to maintain on my travels. You know, everything here in Costa Rica is 2 to 4 times more expensive than anywhere else that I've been. And yeah, so, you know, meals here are $10 to $15 just for a regular plate of food. You know, this room here, the shared bed, is about $16 US per night. Whereas in Nicaragua, I was getting, You know, I was getting 3 nights at a place for $16 kind of thing. So you have to adjust your budget a little bit. You know, I certainly don't mind the shared rooms too much. They've been fine for the ones that I've had to stay in the past. And this one's been no different. So the staff here have been really good. I've seen some really weird reviews online, people complaining about the most basic of things, and I don't understand why you would say those types of things. Like, you're staying somewhere where you're paying $5 or $10 or $15 a night, and people are expecting like first class service everywhere. Well, that's not reality. So if you're looking for a place that's popular, that is well maintained, that has lots of staff cleaning relentlessly here, you know, are very helpful with anything that you need, this would be definitely a place I would recommend. And it's only about 100 meters or less to the beach. There's a beach right out the backside, and you can go out there and have a little walk. Actually, we'll take you out as I finish up here in this room, take you out for a little walk around once I get cooled off, and show you the rest of the place as well. But Rockin' Jay's has been fun, and you know, it's been a really good price for a few nights, and a good send-off to Costa Rica as well. I'm gonna go over and make myself a cup of coffee here while it's not too busy. So here's the kitchen space. There's a couple fridges there for storing stuff, microwave, some dishes and things, and then there's a cooking area here, a couple stoves, lots of pots and pans and stuff, various states of cleanliness, of course. But anyway, it's been working fine for me. I've been just cooking stuff, you know, or just heating up water for things like, you know, coffee and those types of things, and it's been fine. And after I finish here, we'll go for a walk out to the rest of the area. No matter how hot it is, I can always go for a cup of coffee. Anyway, we get this really cool park kind of area here, and in through this section here is actually the hammocks. All this area can kind of be used for tenting, so that's why you'll see random tents kind of pop up here all over the place. And let's go down this way. Here's the bar area, which is kind of a nice spot. Some really cool art and things around. One of the things you get when you get here, of course, is they hand you a drink token, which was good for a tequila shot, or I forget what the other option was, but that was the one I went with a tequila shot. So, you know, whatever. A little welcome gift, I suppose. And then just here, mere meters away from where I'm staying, is the beach. And it's a beautiful spot here. Not super busy, and nice shaded area here for sitting and watching the waves. Definitely far less busy than the other beach we saw earlier today. So anyway, that's Rockin' Jay's. I mean, it's a cool spot. You know, it's lots of shared accommodations, private accommodations. There's the dorm rooms, which I'm staying in. You know, there's tent spaces, there's hammocks, there's any kind of option you could want here. And again, I haven't had any problems, but the staff has been awesome. My only complaint, I suppose, is that in the room that I'm in, the Wi-Fi is a little weak because I'm sort of on the very edge of where that Wi-Fi connects to. But in the rest of the area, it's been super strong, and it's been great to get work done, to hang out, whatever you need. It's been awesome. Free water at the front desk as well, and yeah, I would definitely recommend it. As a guy who doesn't normally stay in shared accommodations too often, you know, I've stayed in a few recently, and it's been pretty good experiences. So, you know, maybe my opinion is changing a little bit. So anyway, that's going to do it from here in Costa Rica. This is, as I said, my final stop here in Puerto Viejo. I'm off to Panama tomorrow. I'll talk a bit about how I got from here to where I'm going in Bocas del Toro in my next video. But it's been a good experience. I'm really glad that I've gotten down to this part of the country and got to see it. I had sort of thought about going and revisiting some of the places I'd been before, but ultimately was glad to check out some new spots. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. I really appreciate it. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button down below. Leave a like or a comment just to let me know that you're here. I do read them all, and I try to respond to as many as I can. If you'd like to support me further, there are a couple of options here popping up on the screen. one for Patreon and one for some donation links. No pressure to do so. I do all of this on my own. I even make my own coffee, and so everything helps me to continue to work on this wonderful project. I've also recently opened up some one-on-one calls availability. So if you're looking to do some long-term travel, if you're looking for logistics, if you're looking for any kind of help whatsoever, especially with Central America, Mexico, and beyond, I have a link down in the description where you can book those one-on-one calls, priced very affordably, I feel, compared to what I've seen from others. And there's even a survey you can fill out to make sure that the specific questions you have get answered. And remember, life is short. Wander. And I'll see you in the next video.